Hi, Stephen Hand from Staccato. What you've just seen was a snippet out of a fight that I had with a gentleman named Kai Wen Lee at Festival of the Sword in Victoria earlier in 2017. And I would like to analyse this fencing phrase just to show some of the techniques being used, some of the decision points, and how this fits with some of the principles laid down by the historical masters. So if we look at the start of the phrase, we can see that Kai is in a guard that George Silver, the system I teach, would call an imbricata, point forward high guard, and I'm in Silver's open fight. Now, what you can see about here is that my front foot starts to come a little back, right? And that's in preparation for what I'm about to do. So about here you can see my back foot start to move. Now, technically, according to George Silver, I would be moving in a false time. However, because I'm moving my body before my hand. But what I'm actually doing, I'm not coming within distance. So I'm trying to fool Kai into thinking, here comes a target that I can hit. And I'm trying to coax a counterattack out of him. And just have a look at his front foot here. You can see his front foot starting to move forward. So he's taking the bait. He's looking to counterattack. His sword's coming forward. And consequently, I'm saying, all right, beauty, he's taking the bait. I'm moving my right foot out to the right to bleed off distance, so any counter-attack he does won't be within distance. I'm looking to bind into his sword and control it and to gain an advantage. So I'm still not really moving my sword. Here comes my sword now. Now, about this point, Kai realises what's happening, and you can see that his point starts to drop. He said, no, I don't want to do a counterattack here. I'm being set up. So he starts to drop his point and he does a parry. Now, just before he does the parry, look here, what is my back foot starting to do? I've realised that Kai knows what's going on. He's going to make a parry, and he's going to be able to do it quite easily. He's then going to riposte, so I'm now starting to reposition myself to intercept that riposte. And in doing so, I'm using the principle that George Silver laid down in his governors in chapter 1 of Brief Instructions, where he says the third and fourth governors is a twofold mind when you press in upon your enemy. For as you have a mind to go forward, so you must have at that instant a mind to fly backward upon any action that shall be offered or done by your adversary. So what Silver's saying essentially is that within your attack there should be the seeds of a defence and vice versa. So my back foot's coming back. Now I'm not really moving my sword very much because I'm still not sure exactly where his riposte is coming. Here it comes, it's a mandrita, and so I'm coming up into a garden fight. And again, have a look, just right here, have a look at my front foot. So just as I'm sure that I'm going to make the parry, I start to move my foot, again that twofold mind. So I make the parry here, right, and I'm starting to move my foot, I'm starting my riposte, my sword is going to come up, here it comes, I'm going to swing it around my head, and I'm going to do a mandrita, and you're going to have to parry with an inside parry. But then, just as he starts to move, just as Kai decides he knows what attack I'm making, and he's going to come through with an inside guard to parry, I stop my sword right above my head, and I reverse the direction, which is quite easy because I've killed off all the momentum getting it up there, and now it's coming back around the other way. He's still committed to his inside parry, he can't get back in time. Here comes my sword, bang, into his wrist, and he's realised just at the last moment what's going on. He's tried to get out of distance, but I'm in a nice lunge position. My back foot's a little off the ground, which is a tiny bit sloppy, but there's the hit, and that's it. So what's happened here is that as you can see, it's a very complex little action. So I've tried to give him a hint of a target to get him to counterattack. He's seen that coming, so I've allowed that false attack to be parried. I've done a parry riposte in turn. I've started an attack which he has been forced to commit to a defence to, and then I've flowed around that defence and attacked on the other side and struck him on the outside of the wrist.